Well, good morning. It is just after 6 o'clock on Friday morning. It shows that today it is a balmy, now it's 47. Earlier it was 40, or it's 48. It was 47 degrees last night. It's a little chilly. I don't think it rained, but like every night here, everything just gets coated in dew and condensation and all that fun stuff. So it's tough when you want to get up and get going early. It's kind of like packing up everything wet, and you're going to have to set it out later in the day to dry out. But we're supposed to have no chance of rain today. There's not a cloud in the sky hardly, and we should be able to dry this stuff out later. So we're going to cover some distance today. I'm pretty sure everybody's probably a little tired and a little sore, but we're gonna get up and do that. So it's beautiful. You got the sun coming up. There's a little cove on this side. We're on a peninsula, so you got the water on that side. The sun's coming up, and then we got the water over on this side too. And you can see, you might be able to make it out. There's like a little mist going across the lake. A little fog in the morning, so. Well, I'm gonna go get some water and fill up my water bottle and keep packing up my tent, and then check on the guys and see how we're doing, and I will check back in later. All right, it's just a tad before 8 o'clock. We're bringing the bags down to get everything loaded up, topping off water bottles, last minute things, and then we'll be on our way, leaving Jack Lake. Really enjoyed this, the southern campsite on Jack. The peninsula, good view from up above. It's buggy, but everywhere's buggy, so we had a good time. Short portage coming up, and then we get into Kelly, and we got to go all the way down Kelly, and then we've got a long portage. So should be a action-packed day, and we'll check back in later.
That would have been a cool thing to bring to DC.
Stay here, I want to start my tracking.
If you remembered this time.
Then we have to go through a little channel. Talk about peaceful, like. Michael's off with the canoe, portaging over to Kelly, heading south. We've got one group ahead of us, or one canoe ahead of us, and two behind us. 65 rod portage, I think, so not too bad. And then a nice long easy paddle, hopefully down Kelly, which is pretty narrow. And then we got the big one for the day, like 2:30, I think, to get over to Burnt, maybe, I think it is. Got these sections of bridge that they've built. They were actually working on it yesterday, the crew was. Doing some maintenance on the trail, cutting back some trees. Howdy, gents.
already had to like reserve it. You do it like 18 months ahead of time. What did it say?
How long is this one?
230 rods.
230 rods. All right. Do you remember which lake we're headed to?
Something with a K.
Well, we're going to Smoke, but I think maybe the next one is Burnt.
Oh. I thought it was like Kelmer's or something.
We just left Kelly.
Oh, that was the one. Okay, never mind then. So we have 2 more lakes to get to?
We're hoping to go to Burnt and then to Smoke and stop.
Okay.
And they're smaller than Kelly's length.
Yeah, just let's hope that we can find a campsite. This man right here tried to hit me 3 times. And we're going downhill. Bad boy. He's a bad child. Now he's tired. I don't blame him. This thing is long. It's like whatever 16.5 times 230 is. That's how many feet it is. It's like, I don't know, half a mile, something like that. Yeah. We made it. All 230 rods. And he didn't put down the canoe once. Even though I know he really wants to.
Do that one again. Woo!
I know. Gavin wanted me to say the N-word.
What? It's not even baking the first day.
Thank you, sir. And we are away. So we're making pretty decent time. It is 10:50 in the morning. We've already done 2 portages and the big long lake of Kelly, and now we're coming across Burnt. The goal is if we can get to Smoke and get a site, that'd be awesome. And then maybe we can do some fishing and some swimming today. We were lucky yesterday. I was able to hook 3 fish, catch 2 of them, and the northern, I got him onto the shore, and he jumped and spit the hook right at the water's edge. Not a big northern, decent size, but not anything super huge. But we were able to cook up the bass that we had. It was pretty tasty. It's not as good as walleye, but it's not bad. It's probably better than what the northern would have been. But hopefully we have some time to fish today, like these guys out over here. All right, so we're making good time. It is 11:46. We just got our campsite here on, this is Smoke Lake, and we took the same one that we used last time. It's a huge, great site on the east end, the most southerly campsite on the east end of Smoke is spectacular. It's huge. Probably the best rated campsite we've seen on this trip. But we're gonna go explore because I know there's 2 other campsites back here, and I think one of them is rated really high too. So if they're open, we may come back and grab our stuff and move over to that one. There's a lot of people coming on the portage from Sawbill, the put-in spot, but they seem to all be coming across towards Burnt and beyond. So I don't see anybody else on this lake yet, but there's 2 or 3 sites back here. I think there's at least 2. So we'll go check and see if there's other people on the lake, and then walk the sites and see what we think, and then decide. So I will check back when we get over there. All right, we just checked the site on the eastern shore of Smoke. That is a little more north. So not the southern one, there's 2 on this side. So the second one, it's a big site. Ground's a little uneven at spots. Huge site though. Like you could fit 9 people on there, no problem. You can fit hammocks, a bunch. You could fit a few tents in there. Like I said, there's a couple flat spots, but the ground's a little bit uneven. But because it's so big, you should be able to find a spot. So we're gonna now go to the west side of Smoke and see if there's anybody over there, and take a peek at those before heading back to our campsite. Well, we just checked out what we think is the northernmost site on the west edge of Smoke Lake, and it's great for small people, maybe. 2 tent spots, that's about it. Then you've got this spot down here under the trees, which is completely uneven. You can maybe do a couple hammocks, but the site's spread out. Like there's a path over here to the firing, there's a path over here to the tent site. Like there's no central spot, so it's like a network. So I would rate it very low, that one. We were talking about maybe it's a 3 out of 10. And it only works for small groups. So if you're a group of 5 or 6, unless you're doing a big tent and everybody's in together, I think you'd have a hard time getting more than 2 tents in that spot. So the 4th one on Smoke, we were told is taken by our peers, our crewmates. So we're gonna head back to the camp we took and rest, because I'm tired now. So I'm wore out, I'm ready for lunch. It is, what time is it? 12:20. So time to go take a break, get camp set up, and go from there. All right, we'll check back in later. Well, hey everybody, I thought I'd do a quick walkthrough of the setup that I brought here for Boundary Waters, just on my sleeping setup. So I like to bring my Dutchware Chameleon. I've been using this now for a couple years. I really like the Dutchware hammock. I bring it in the summer setup. I have just a removable bug net that I zipper on. I'll usually have like a ridgeline organizer, and then they have these great pockets that I use to organize, whether it's clothes for the next day or keeping a blanket out of the way until I'm, it cools off and I'm ready to use it. So I use that, and then I love having Dutch's spider straps with just the beetle buckles. Those are great because you can just slide, make the adjustments that you need to get the hammock exactly the way that you like it. So that works great. I will use hammock gear. This is the Econ, the Phoenix. That's the 40-degree 3/4 length, which for the warmer weather, I find that's great. My son's actually using my full length incubator 20-degree for his hammock. So I took the warmer, or the higher temperature rated one. And then I bring, this is the UGQ top quilt. What is that? The Bandit. And I brought, this is the 50-degree, which I find, even though we've had temperatures in the mid to upper 40s, I've been plenty warm in the underquilt and the 40-degree underquilt and the 50-degree top quilt. I find if you have a warm underneath, sometimes you don't need quite as warm on the top. But for me, that's just what's comfortable for me. Usually I recommend people have about a 10-degree barrier below whatever the temperature rating is going to be. So that's it. That's my Boundary Water sleep system. Now, to be honest, I did bring my Fly Creek from Big Agnes, because let me show you this. A lot of the boys, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other hammocks here in camp, and not every camp in Boundary Waters is large. So on some of the campsites where we don't have enough room, I will actually bust out the tent and make sure they've got spots to hammock, because it just makes it a little bit easier. Battery died, so I had to switch the battery on the GoPro and go back. So I just, the other thing that I didn't show is I also use a Dyneema tarp from Hammock Gear with the doors. We're not supposed to get any rain tonight, 0 to 10% chance, so I've got that packed away. I will probably not put that out tonight so I can see a few stars when they come out. But that staked out has been great. We have had a little bit of rain, but it hasn't been too bad. The other thing that I'll show you, not just as a little sneak peek, I'll talk about this later. So I've got this great little thing for the GoPros. So it's a traveling battery bank with chargers. So you can keep your 2 extra batteries charging. And then there's, I don't have it memorized off the top of my head, but there's a battery bank built into this. So, say it's 2,500 milliamps, and I'll put it what it actually is on the screen. So you can recharge the batteries a couple different times as you're going through this, and keep your spares in a nice compact place. And then when you get back to civilization, it's just USB-C power port on the backside here. And you can charge the battery bank up and the batteries that are inside the case at the same time. That's a pretty neat little thing. I'm going to talk about that probably in a future video, because I found this just to be a super useful piece of kit if you're looking at GoPro accessories. So this is all being filmed on the GoPro, and this comes with me now. So pretty awesome. Love that. All right, that's all I got for now. We're going to go back. We have Twinkies and oatmeal cream pies and things like that for dessert for tonight. So I'm going to go into the grab bag and see what I find, and sit around the campfire and enjoy our last night in Boundary Waters. We've got pretty spectacular view campsite right here along the point on Smoke Lake. Loving it. We'll be out fishing again later tonight. Hooked 3 last night, got 2 on shore, cooked one of them up, and released the other one, and then one jumped spit the hook right at the shore. So bummer, but those northerns, they can do that. All right, that's all I got for now. I will check back in later on. So tonight we are trying the chicken teriyaki with rice. There's like hunks, like big old chunks of chicken in there. I don't think I've ever seen. Like, that's crazy. So hope it's good. So we're attempting to throw a bear line up in the tree, so it takes a few of us to do it. Oh, that was really close. But I want to give a big shout out to Fayz Gear for sending me a rock bag to test out and try. It's out of the new Ultra, I think it's an Ultra 400 fabric. So that thing's like bomb proof. The other bag I had got rips and tears. This one we've been beating the crap out of all week long, and it's actually a great material for a bear hang. So if you have a bear hang, or if you've got like the old Dyneema ones, maybe it's worth upgrading to something like the Fayz Gear rock bag. Thumbs up. It's actually been pretty cool to use this week, and it's taken a beating and doesn't show any wear and tear. So pretty awesome. So we were able to get it way up there. So we are going to actually since it's only 50 feet of rope. I think it's 50 feet of rope. It's not enough to reach all the way up and come back down, so we're gonna have to tie some of the paracord to the end of it, so that we can get our bear rope up and hung. Yeah. Nice throw, Michael. Well, good morning. It's our last morning here in the Boundary Waters, and we'll be heading out to our final portage and back to Sawbill and the outfitters and eventually civilization. We've had a great adventure, lots of fun, some silliness, some good stories, some great memories. I'm sure we'll all be shared about this trip for quite some time. Had some fun fishing, seeing some new campsites, watching these guys come together and get stronger throughout the week. It's a pretty magical place, and pretty blessed to have the opportunity to come up here and spend a week doing this, so very grateful for that. We're gonna get packed up. We're gonna have some breakfast bars and maybe a cup of coffee, and then we're gonna head out. It's 49 degrees according to the thermometer when I finally got out of bed. It was definitely colder than that last night. And man, just you kind of get that wave of emotions of different things that flashbacks to different things that happened on the trip. I think, for me at least, on the last days of these trips, you always think back to everything that's happened, and you're excited to get, shower and real food and all of that stuff, but at the same point, you kind of just stop and take stock a little bit of everything. And we've had some great times, some fun times out here. Last night, for example, we had we're all sitting in our hammocks and our tents, and we've probably been there for like, I don't know, an hour, half an hour, something like that. Some people have already dozed off, and all of a sudden this huge owl just lands above us, literally right above us. Nobody heard it come in, just completely silent, and it just starts just making its calls and scaring the crap out of a bunch of us, because that thing was so loud and it echoed across the entire lake. So we were like, what the heck is that? It was pretty funny. So lots of little things like that I think we'll have to share with people when we get back home. So, well, enjoy the last few minutes as we paddle out and see some of the scenery, and we'll get a little clip of the outfitters and maybe get a little ice cream sandwich or something at the outfitters before we head out on the road. But we've got a paddle across this lake. We've got one more portage of 100 rods,
and then we've got half of Sawbill Lake to get to our exit. So we'll be doing that shortly. We gotta go get packed up. Let's go get packed up.
Our final paddle across Smoke Lake. Our goal is to be there by 10 a.m. I think we could do it by 9:30. If not, maybe even sooner.
The first time we're gonna be
Depends
early.
how quick we can do this portage.
Yeah. What time is it?
8:12.
I can probably get done with this portage fine.
All right, turn. Yeah, we'll go through past that island. It's behind the island. On the right-hand side is the portage. So there's this island right in front of us that has just a bald eagle sitting on the tree as we paddle our way out of the boundary waters. See if I can take a couple pictures of it as we go by and add that into the video. That's pretty cool. What's up, Mr. Bald Eagle? Oh, I'm gonna take another picture. He's gonna jump. Hold on. There's our boards. Looks like a foot of water or so. Alright, I will stabilize it. And then, hold on. Whoa, this is really deep. Look, it's all mud. I can go down like 4 feet in the mud, so you don't want to step in that. It'll be like quicksand. Yeah, and then, well, we might have to walk it down there. We'll do that in a second.
They're like 100 yards away.
Yeah, I think we'll have time. But I think by the time they get here, we can't leave all of our bags right here. We have to leave our bags back in the forest. And then we'll take the canoe. Here, take this too. Awesome. Yeah, you can just hold it, load it onto the dock a little bit. I'll go put this back here. Do it. Those are biting the crap out of me. See the dock up ahead. Getting to the end of our trek. We have officially left the boundary water, so we're on the southern tip of Sawbill Lake, which is not, this part of the lake is not in the boundary waters. And we've got our last couple hundred yards to the dock. And then we can unload and settle up with the outfitters and get a shower. Maybe get an ice cream sandwich. Shop for some souvenirs if you want. See if we can find the other groups. And start loading up and thinking about heading for home. We've got about 7.5 hours of driving today still to do to get to the state park where we'll be camping at tonight.
I suspect they will, but they're supposed to know.
Oh yeah, can we get a map?
Yes, yeah, okay. Map 8 should cover both.
All right, so we're just wrapping up here at Sawbill Outfitters. All the boys get to go in and pick out of the deep freeze an ice cream of some kind, and then the dads are settling up some patches and some other stuff, and we're going to be on the road shortly. So we had a great time. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, be well.